Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the
about luxury bags carefully handcrafted in China. Turns out your quote-unquote made in Italy luxury handbag might have more ties to Chinese factories than to Tuscany.
Which Chinese factory supplies for Louis Vuitton? Let me tell you the secret. Louis Vuitton had many Chinese.
It's so funny how gullible the people are, especially in a Chinese app.
What if the $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag you just bought wasn't made in France or Italy, but in a backroom factory in China for just 50 bucks? This isn't a wild conspiracy. Viral TikTok videos, court investigations, and secret labor operations are pulling back the curtain on the luxury fashion industry, and the truth? It's uglier than you think. Stay with me, because what's happening right now could change the way we see luxury forever.
luxury bags in the world are made in China, but those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China.
Thanks to viral TikToks from Chinese factory workers, the internet is now in a frenzy over claims that some of the most iconic designer bags are actually born in the East, just wearing a Western disguise.
Pirates, but they just don't admit it. 50% of the Louis Vuitton bags are from these two places, Guangzhou City and Dongguan City.
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China and a Louis Vuitton that they got at the designer store? Because I need to see a side-by-side.
It began with a wave of viral TikToks in 2024. Chinese factory workers began filming themselves on shop floors surrounded by high-end bags, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, and claiming, "We make these for the luxury brands." One man proudly said his factory had been the official manufacturer for top brands for over 30 years. Another claimed 80% of all luxury handbags were made in China, offering authentic Louis Vuitton bags for just $50.
As tariff tensions tighten and TikTok truth bombs explode, the question remains, are luxury labels selling a European fantasy? Here's more.
The factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing. That way, the bags will appear at their boutique.
90% of Louis Vuitton silk is from Wanshili in Hangzhou City.
They called themselves OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, hinting they were the hidden hands behind fashion's biggest names. The videos exploded online, millions of views, thousands of shocked comments. People started asking, is luxury fashion lie? But are these claims real? Luxury brands were quick to respond. Louis Vuitton stated, firmly, that their products are made exclusively in France, Italy, Spain, and the US. They deny using any Chinese factories for final products. Experts also weighed in. Many of the TikTok creators weren't official suppliers at all, but counterfeiters. They were showing off knockoff bags designed to look like the real thing, hoping to sell dupes directly to consumers. Still, the damage was done.
As made in Italy or made in France. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay?
Friend who is a manager in the factory of Louis Vuitton, and he told me that the similar quality one just needs $50 US. This is crazy, right?
And no, it's not happening in Paris or Milan. It's happening on TikTok.
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
TikTok viewers didn't care about technicalities. They saw a $5,000 handbag supposedly made for $50, and the illusion of luxury began to crack.
Courtesy Chinese factory workers and business owners who've had enough of staying backstage.
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory. They just
Forget cryptic press releases. This saga is being told through bite-sized videos that pack a mighty punch.
More than 80.
While Louis Vuitton denied everything, another scandal exploded in Europe, and this time, it was real. In Italy, investigators uncovered Chinese-run factories operating sweatshops inside the country. These workshops were supplying leather goods for Dior and Armani. The workers, often undocumented immigrants, paid just a few euros per hour and sleeping on site.
Okay? Imagine that you have Hermes bag and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China. While
You know who is producing high quality accessories for those luxury brands like Chanel, Estee Lauder, L'Oreal?
You can continue to expose all of these retailers, nobody's gonna care.
Dior's Italian division was even placed under court-appointed oversight. Though Dior claimed it was unaware, it admitted it had failed to monitor its subcontractors properly and promised to cut ties and enforce stricter checks. The shock? These bags were legally labeled Made in Italy. Because under EU law, if the final stages of production happen there, even in sweatshops, it still counts. The fallout was massive. Social media erupted. Some consumers were outraged, demanding refunds, questioning the ethics of their favorite brands. Others were strangely supportive of the Chinese manufacturers, applauding them for exposing the truth and vowing to skip retailers and buy direct.
everything else, like leathers, zippers, and hardware, remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you recognize this style, this bag, of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Which you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world.
Apparently, while they stitched and polished with Swiss watch precision, the big brands cashed in and took all the credit.
In luxury boutiques, staff reported uncomfortable questions. Where is this really made? How do I know this isn't from one of those videos? Suddenly, trust, the most important part of luxury, was in free fall. The TikToks may be exaggerated. The Italian scandal may not involve Louis Vuitton directly. But together, they've raised a bigger question. What does made in France or made in Italy actually mean anymore? Luxury brands sell the dream of heritage, craftsmanship, and exclusivity.
This led to a wave of other creators singing the same song as @SendBags 2. The creator behind @SendBags 2 claims that when a Western brand tried ghosting China due to geopolitical tensions, they ran straight into disaster. Interestingly, these Chinese manufacturers reportedly work under non-disclosure agreements, so a Chinese resident may be making your $1,000 Gucci bag, but they cannot say that out openly.
If your hammer says made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Inferior quality, slower timelines, and sky-high costs had them crawling back faster than a cancelled influencer.
But if the supply chain hides sweatshops, underpaid labor, or outsourced shortcuts, is that dream still real? The public wants transparency, proof, accountability. Because if a $10,000 bag is built on a $50 production cost and clever marketing, what exactly are we paying for? The illusion of luxury has been challenged. TikTok called it out. The courts uncovered it. And now it's up to us, the consumers, to decide what's worth our money and what's just a label. What do you think? Is the luxury industry hiding the truth? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold truths behind the brands we worship.